Hello, hello. Welcome to CEO Insights with Vitaly. We always try to bring to you some controversial and yet provocative and expanding topics. And today with me is Grace Schroeder from Slinger. She specializes in custom AI projects, and she's been in that for a long time. Grace, first of all, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. It's very excited to have the conversation.
Wonderful. We already started talking, and we're kind of like two veterans reminiscing about, hey, remember those days when we had no internet? We used to send, what is it? What do you call it?
Pneumonic tubes.
Mnemonic tubes, right? And look what happened from mnemonic tubes. You were working mnemonic tubes. I started working on this thing called internet, which I thought was a bunch of spaghetti, but ended up being a network. Uh, and now we have AI. How do we CEOs should think about AI? What's a new way to think about in terms of business value?
I think AI is less a technology and more a capability. And I think that's the way to look at it. So bringing AI into an organization adds capabilities that have to be managed, that have to be refined, and that have to be embedded into the workflow and the thinking of the rank and file and frontline workers.
Yeah, I like how you captured it. It's a capability. It's a digital capability, almost like a digital workforce that you need to think of how am I going to include it as part of my workflow, right? Rather than just a piece of software.
Yeah, and a lot of times through all of history, people get panicked when new technology came out. The loom, the printing press, all of these things caused dramatic panic in certain societies, and I feel that that panic is starting to show up as AI is contemplated. But I also believe that AI is going to open up and introduce a whole new range of career possibilities for people that we haven't even thought of yet. And it's super exciting time for people that are decisive and curious.
Yeah, give me an example of like I think you mentioned like you're like prompt engineers as data analysts as prompt engineers. Give me that example.
Sure. So we have internally, we have a staff augmentation side of our business that we staff developers for, data analysts, et cetera. And what we have found is the data analyst role, and these are people that operate the spreadsheets, they may be swivel chair in and out of multiple systems. Those people are super good and super organized thinkers. And as we started building an agentics for our clients, we turned to them to do the prompt engineering, refining the prompts. So the developers set up all of the tooling and the workflows, but these people are super good at refining them and making sure that the data extraction is correct, that they're training it, that the prompts are getting better. And they now are the center of excellence for prompt engineering, the women in our company that used to be the data analysts. And it was a surprise to us. So I feel like there are tons of roles that are going to emerge for people that otherwise would not have had them, for those that want them and that are curious to refine, design and co-manage digital workforces.
Yeah, it's a great example. You wouldn't have even thought about it, but yeah, it makes sense. They're very data savvy. They're more lateral. They're more like project managers. They don't need, they're not techies that are like so attached to I mean, they have quality, but they're thinking laterally. So they're perfect for that. It's a creative job. The prompting is a creative job,
It is a
not
creative
just,
and it's collaborative
yeah.
with the developers, which I don't know that there's been a role like that. That is so the developer and the prompt engineer department that work hand in hand, and it's elevating everybody, and it's fantastic for me because I love giving people career opportunities that they're great at that they wouldn't otherwise have had.
I like you said it's collaborative, so which means, and that's why you say women are, because women are naturally more collaborative, right? Guys have more than one ego, let me do this myself.
Well, I didn't want to smack on the men today because I do that every day. But if we want to, we can.
No, I mean, not everybody, but there is this. My wife says, "You never ask for directions when you drive," but I do now. I've turned into like. Actually, I don't. I have my GPT. I have my my phone, but
You got
still,
the lady in the box. She's going
I
to
got
tell you what to
it.
do.
That's right. But I did change. I did. I used to be like that. Okay, now let's switch into CEO role because there is a bigger strategic role. As I told you before, I'm forming a CEO roundtable on AI adoption. And and I'm noticing some CEO says, yeah, no, you should invite my CTO. And I go, no, not the CTO. And then you need to, if you don't know what you're doing, the CTO only can actually misguide you. Tell us your view
Yeah,
on.
so this is the make or break moment, for companies. So the CEO, I believe, has to get more invested in understanding the outcomes that are possible with AI so that he can drive the bus. Like where do we want to start? In it's breaking a habit to our earlier conversation, it's breaking a habit of oh, we've got this new thing. Let's go, do a vendor parade and just buy one big blob, and one big blob's going to solve our AI. No, that's not what's happening. Tons of different opportunities for AI to help an organization. Where do you want to start? Where is it most important to start? B, who's going to help break down that work and who's going to be that core team of frontline people that are going to drive and be the kernel of your AI implementations and execution path. And that's where the model has changed and you cannot follow the old path. You cannot follow the vendor parade path. They will all come in and you'll buy a big blob and then $50 million later, you still won't have an outcome. It's a very outcome determined decision that you're trying to make, and that's where it needs to start.
Oh, thank you for reminding us. That's so makes sense. It's kind of a bottom up rather than top down approach. And the more people involved on at the line manager level, the more likely to succeed, right?
100%, 100%. Because these, women could have, in our company, could have been threatened. Oh, wow, prompt engineering, my data analyst job is going to go away. Instead, they became super good at it. And I think that's the shift, the mind shift that will happen at that frontline worker once you engage them. And they're the ones that are going to be best able to help drive it because they're the ones doing the work breakdown. They're the ones that know those distinct steps that can be automated. You can't do it without the frontline people. So I think it's the whole way that large companies operate. They got the golden thread of, oh, these are the corporate jobs. Everybody's got to do that. No, it's different. It's different. It has to be looked at, isolated as a different sidecar initiative that's not interfered with by the way things have always been done.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding us. Where can I find your resources? Where can I find you? What's your website?
Slinger.io, Slingr.io
.io.
is our website, and there's a contact page. Anybody that wants to reach out, I'm happy to have conversations with anybody. I'm not a hard sell person. I actually had to hire a salesperson because I'm not that hard seller, but I'd love to have these conversations. Anybody that wants to talk about their challenges and what I see on the landscape, and I'd love to hear what other people are running into. I'm happy to have the talks.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your work. I know it's not a easy field to do with all the world, and it's a male dominated field. So yay for the women in this in the
You know
AI
what?
profession.
Somebody told me once, you have chosen a very tough way to make money, Grace, and I agree, I have, but I can't reprogram myself, so here we are.
You
I
do.
appreciate the conversation. Let's go Croatia.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.